This is John Watts, and we want to go ahead and talk about the very first option that you have when you've been sued by a debt collector or a debt buyer in Alabama, and that is to consider filing bankruptcy. Now, you're probably getting letters from bankruptcy attorneys saying either that you've been sued or you've been served and that they can file bankruptcy for you. So, first of all, what is bankruptcy? And then we'll look at what are the advantages and then what are the disadvantages of it. Well, first of all, bankruptcy is either Chapter 7, that's where all your debt is wiped out in essence, or Chapter 13, where all your debt's gathered together and then you pay it, usually over about 5 years, and particularly the part that you're behind on. Now, there are a number of rules to know if you qualify for filing a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13. We're not going to get into those in this video, but here's what I do. I ask people to say, okay, here's where you are. Now, looking forward in time, say 2 or 3 years, are things, have they improved? Are they staying about the same, or are they going down? And that's just kind of an easy way to see, well, what's the feeling that you have about your financial situation? You know, if you say, hey, I just graduated with a new degree, I'm starting a new job, my financial troubles, those are really 5 years in the past, and then I'm almost through with all that. Well, that's one thing. If you say, I just lost my job and I just got divorced and I've been sued 7 times, well, that's something different. I mean, here's the deal with bankruptcy. It is a very extreme solution, and I think it is overused, but when it's appropriate, it's extremely effective. And here's what I mean, and I'll focus on Chapter 7. If you qualify and if it's appropriate, it will just wipe out the debt. So it makes the lawsuit go away. If you have other unsecured debt, it makes it go away. If you have a home or a car, it'll discharge that, which means that you no longer owe it unless you reaffirm it or agree again to do it. So that's the advantage of it. Now, the disadvantage is it's on your credit report. You always have to say now, I filed bankruptcy when you're asked. And here's the thing, sometimes it's so extreme. It's sort of like this. Imagine I say, my little finger's hurting me so much. And you say, I got the solution for you, John. We'll take your whole arm and just chop it off. Well, my finger wouldn't hurt anymore because I wouldn't have a hand. Okay? So that is not an appropriate response. And oftentimes I see people who are sued, and one of the other 4 options, and we're going to talk about those in other videos, that's fight the case on your own, settle it on your own, hire a lawyer to fight it, hire a lawyer to settle it. One of those, or maybe more than one, would be a much more appropriate solution than just filing bankruptcy. And one thing to remember, there's that old expression, to the man holding a hammer, what does everything look like? Looks like a nail. So if somebody is a bankruptcy attorney, or that's what they're pushing, then they may see that that's always the solution. And what I would suggest to you is that you need to be very, very careful about that, and very careful about all of these options. But that's the whole point of this video series, is to sort of say, here's all the options out there. Now, let's go through and let's look at bankruptcy. Let's look at handling it on your own and fighting it, handling it on your own, settling it, hiring a lawyer to fight it, hiring a lawyer to settle it. Which one is best for you? Well, ultimately, you have to decide based on your individual circumstances. But I hope that this video has given you some insight into, yes, there is a great advantage to filing bankruptcy if you qualify, and that is it's absolutely effective. Some people call it kind of the nuclear option. I mean, it'll wipe it out if you qualify, but there are some consequences to that, and it may be an inappropriate response. So look at your situation and feel free to give us a call, 205-879-2447. And again, my name is John Watts, and I'll be glad to chat with you about it. You can call my office, set up either an in-person meeting or a phone call, and we'll go over your options. And you're also welcome to go to alabamaconsumer.com. We have a lot of information there on bankruptcy and on being sued by a debt collector, and you can always contact us through there. Thank you.